You can mute yourself, mute your mic first before you can mute your mic and then you can start unmute later. Good evening, viewers, wherever you are watching us from. This is Mapanza Nkwilimba with another episode of Hearing from Constituencies. This evening, we do have two Ward Development Committee chairpersons from Chinsali. So you'll be hearing from what is happening in Chinsali. We are so happy to have our guests from Chinsali. We have James Mufumbi Mwaba, and then we have Jonathan Piri. Jonathan Piri and James, can you just introduce yourselves to the viewers and tell us which wards you are chairpersons for?
I'm Jonathan Piri, the WDC chairperson for Kakola Ward in Chinsali.
Okay. James? Have we lost James? We have lost James. Yes. Yeah. Okay. James, can you please introduce yourself and tell the viewers which is your ward, where you are the Ward Development Committee chairperson? I'm not sure James is able to hear. Can you hear us, James?
Mufumbi. For Ichinga ward, Chinsali. Mufumbi.
Jonathan, can you introduce yourself?
I thought I did. Are you getting me?
We can hear you, Jonathan. Can you introduce yourself and tell the viewers which ward you are the chairperson for?
The internet. I'm Jonathan.
My ward is Ichinga ward. Ichinga ward chairperson.
Okay, welcome, gentlemen, to our program. Thank you so much for accepting to appear. I think we're having a challenge with. We can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yes, yes, I can.
Okay, so I was just saying that we are grateful that you found time to join us on this program. We have this program every Saturday, starting from 20 hours. And the idea is to speak to people from various constituencies and wards, because we want to learn what they are doing in their wards as far as CDF is concerned. So can we begin from that? Maybe before we talk about what you are doing in your wards, Jonathan, can you just tell us who you are and how you got involved in development?
I'm Jonathan Fury, that's my name. I'm the Ward Development Committee Chairperson. And I got involved. Are you getting me?
Yes, please, just go on, just keep on.
Yes, I got involved through elections. I was elected into this position by the zone. It began by being chosen at the zonal level. And from the zonal level, I was picked. I was elected by all the zonal representatives at a meeting where I was elected as WDC chairperson for Nkakula ward, which is just within Chinsali constituency, and it just sits part of the township and then extending outward into the rural parts of Chinsali.
Great. So what do you do apart from what you do in the ward? What else do you do?
In terms of what, would you be clear?
I'm saying apart from what you are doing on the committee, what else do you do in life?
Oh, in life, I am actually a teacher who is retiring very shortly, pending retirement. And I'm a peasant farmer, just located, just having a farm nearby here.
Okay.
I'm also involved in some community work. Yeah. Basically, that's what I do in life.
Okay, that's great. I'm also a teacher. You know, I started off as a teacher. Actually, I taught at Kenneth Kaunda Secondary School in Chinsali.
Great, great.
Yeah, that was many years ago in 81, 82, 83. I was teaching at Kenneth Kaunda Secondary School.
Great, yeah.
So I know Chinsali very well.
Oh,
James, can you just tell us as well how you got involved in what you're doing and what else are you doing in life?
My name is James Mufumbi. I was elected from the zone Chimbeimbe, and thereafter I was elected as chairperson at zone level. I'm a retired officer who has done construction, and I'm a peasant farmer.
Great. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Now let's get to the business of the day. What can you tell us about what is happening in your wards, in as far as constituent development fund is concerned?
Maybe can I begin?
Yes, please go ahead.
Through?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, in the first place, we just want to appreciate government for especially considering funding the CDF committees the way they have funded them this time. This is a step very much ahead, and it will steer up development and it create a lot of opportunities for our youths, the communities, and the other groups in the constituencies and wards. What we are doing, we began by, first of all, being oriented on the operations of these ward development committees. If you can recall, in the past, they were there, but very passive, and they were just there on paper. Now, with the coming of decentralization now, whereby local communities are now being empowered to have a say on the development direction which they want to take. This is a great stride. So we began by sensitizing the communities. After we were elected into the office, we went to the communities, now beginning at the zonal level, where we actually introduced ourselves and how we are going to operate, and at the same time engaging the communities what type of development they were looking for and what projects would be undertaken that they wish to undertake. And also sensitizing the community that they had now the opportunity to create jobs for themselves by engaging into cooperatives and then choosing the type of projects they can run because the funds were sitting at the council in the CDF account. Having done that, after we sensitized them, there was overwhelming, and in fact, even up to now, there's overwhelming response from the community because they went into submission of the projects that they want to undertake at community level, what we call community projects. If they would want a school, depending on the priority of that particular community. So various communities in the wards which are demarcated into zones had their project proposed by the members of the community. In some areas, they embarking on school construction, that is the education sector. Others proposed rural health centers. Others maybe bridges and so forth, depending on the community. Now these forms were submitted. I must tell you that communities responded very well. They have come up with proposals starting from the youth groups, the women groups, and also the community itself. These are big projects. So having filled in those forms, after they filled in, this time the process begins at the ward level. So as chairpersons, we held meetings, the ward development committees, to look into these submissions from the communities. And after scrutinizing them, we advised them where there were where they were lagging behind or where they did not do a good job. We advised them. And after approving these forms, these project proposals, we have submitted them to the local authority where they are sitting and waiting for the CDF committee to go through and approve them. Apart from that, these community projects, they're what we call the skills bursary, which the government has provided. And the communities have responded very well, including the other form of bursary, which is secondary school bursary. The school-going children, pupils have filled in these forms, and we have submitted them to the local authority, waiting for the CDF committee to sit and approve this. Meanwhile, our learners in these schools are learning because we have assured them that the funds are coming, and the communities are very, very, very happy that now they have been provided bursary. Bursary has been provided to the children, and the children will access education with less difficulties in terms of payment of school fees. Meanwhile, this is what we have done, and the community is excited. The communities are excited, waiting for the approval of these projects, which will create job opportunities. Because, you know, when you talk about employment, it's a problem. But now with the formation of these cooperatives and these youth empowerment funds at the disposal, we are hoping that there will be no one complaining about unemployment. So we are eagerly waiting and seeing to it that the CDF committee approves these forms and proposals that are sitting on their tables. This is basically, this is what I can explain about what we are doing so far up to this point, as we await for the approval of these projects by the CDF committee.
So that's really, it's amazing. You have done a lot of work already. Now, as you know, there has to be an announcement before you submit a proposal. For example, the council announced that they'll be receiving proposals for projects. How did you start doing yours? Has the council already announced that you can submit a community development proposal?
Yes. Anyway, has already been granted to us to submit this.
Oh, that's fantastic! I'm really excited to know that Chinsali is way ahead of many other councils. To know that you have already been asked to submit proposals in all the three areas: secondary school bursaries, developments. That's what this is: development bursaries, and also community projects. That's very exciting to hear. Jonathan, is it the same thing in your ward as well? What has happened so far in Ichinga ward?
Yes, thanks very much. First of all, we have to recommend government for this issue. This development has brought a lot of joy to our community. What we did as well, we started to sensitize people on how to prepare their projects and how to fill some forms. So we did that process, and thereafter, then we started receiving some project proposals from the community themselves. And it has been a very, very, very welcome move by the community, because they have a hand in these funds, development committee funds. So right now, we are still, although we have submitted some proposals, but we still have some more forms coming from the community. So maybe we need some extra time so that more people can come in, especially people in rural areas. But within my district, my ward, some people have brought, some are complaining of late getting of certificates from either cooperatives or PACRA. So we need, if the government can at least do something so that these people can get their certificates on time, so that they also participate in this national development. Otherwise, we've done what we're supposed to be doing, although there's pressure from people. There's pressure from people because most of the people have not yet submitted, especially youths and women in my constituency, in my ward. We need more time so that more people, more youth, more women can benefit from this constituency fund. Otherwise, we have some forms on the table from skills bursaries and the secondary schools, those which has not been sent because of the time. So we need classification on this one as well, so that all these people can be captured. Thank you very much.
So that's great. I mean, what deadline were you given to submit the bursaries applications?
Sorry?
What deadline were you given? What's the deadline for submitting bursaries?
Last Friday, the week before last week. It was Friday,
okay.
Friday after 2 weeks from now. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure if you requested them to extend, I think they should be able to accept those applications. I know here in Lusaka, it was extended. It was supposed to be on the 18th, but they have pushed it to April. And I also know that in Chilanga, it was supposed to be last week on Friday. They have pushed it to Friday next week. It's very encouraging. It's very encouraging to know that there has been overwhelming, response to your communities. This is as it should be. There's no reason why people cannot take advantage of this resource. $25.7 million from 1.6 million. That's a significant increase. And it's good to know that people are participating. They are eager to participate. I'm sure they'll be following up as well. They'll be monitoring what is happening with their projects. And I just wanted to let you know that on this program, if you want to speak in Bemba, you can speak in Bemba. We welcome any language, and for information. The whole world is watching you. We have got Zambians who are living abroad, who are keen to know what's happening in Zambia. So we have Zambians in the diaspora, in a lot of countries who are keenly also following what's happening in the country. So we are happy that I'm really excited that a rural place like Chinsali has responded so well with this opportunity. We should not lose this opportunity at all. The youth, the women must benefit from this.
Yes.
Is there anything that you could say? Perhaps there are people who are listening in your ward, but also in other constituencies where people are slow, they are not responding quickly. What would you tell them? What would you advise to them?
What I can say maybe is
let's begin with Jonathan. Let's begin with Jonathan and then James. Jonathan first.
Yes. What I can say is that people need to speed up. We are coming from a background where maybe there were similar initiatives of projects, and maybe nothing very much tangible came out, and people are still doubting. So what I can advise them, let them just hasten to fill in the forms and then organize themselves. This is an opportunity. And we're also happy that the government and even the local authority has extended the period on receiving these submissions. So once they might be late, let them just rush and maybe do a good job. And we see where things are going, because the 26.7 million sitting in the CDF is good money that will empower the communities. If at all in the past they had some challenges and things never worked out, this one is a different arrangement. Let them not doubt, because when other communities and other groups will be empowered, they'll be admiring and then start wishing they did a good job, or they start wishing they submitted their forms. So my encouragement is that please, people, let's take this opportunity, because if you want to form employment, you want to be employed by government, there are so many ways one can earn a living and have a job and something to do to put food on the table. So this is a very, very, very important and very timely initiative of empowering communities. And also on the school bursaries, because the money is there. Now, if your children don't go to school, education is an equalizer. And here's an opportunity. In the past, it was very difficult. The dropout rate in secondary schools and the primary schools because of fees was very high. But here is an opportunity. Free education, free sponsorship. The skills, the bursary that is there, which is going to provide our youths with a skill, and then they will live on that skill and do something on their own, even if the CDF stops. But no one can get a skill out of you once you have a skill. So I want to urge each and everyone listening now, let us rush and take this opportunity. Opportunity knocks once at every man's door. Nobody should say, God never gave me an opportunity. This is an opportunity. If there are people that are doubting, and maybe, with this social media, some people would want to distort information to say, there's nowhere it is going. I just want to assure them, this arrangement, this process is going somewhere. And let the communities take note that this is an opportunity where they're empowered. Some time back, government was doing projects which are not initiated by the communities. The communities never had a say, but this time they have got a voice to decide what project they want to be carried out, and money is there. So it's a great opportunity. People should not procrastinate. Let them just get on their feet. With this little time that is remaining, let them forward the forms. The chairman for the Work Development Committees will forward them. And just as my colleague also said, we are requesting, because sometimes people are slow to understand what is going on. Others, maybe it could have been, they were not communicated to. So I just want to plead that we should be given a little bit more time, so that because the hurdle that we have now is the bank issues, the certificates from cooperatives. So we'll request our councils and the CDF committee to give us a little bit more time, so that more forms as they come, we forward them. The process should be ongoing, and maybe up to April or somewhere there, so that those that have done, we forward. And we continue doing that, so that we give a privilege and chance to each and every Zambian to have access to these funds that are sitting. 26.7 million. It's a lot of money. That's what I can encourage those that are still lagging behind. It's better late than never.
Thank you, Jonathan. That's really important. Thank you for that encouragement. As you have said, it's like some people, they are really doubting. They don't think that this is real because of their experience in the past. But as you have said, this is a different ball game. People have to believe in this government that they are serious with decentralization, and it's up to them to have the opportunity to benefit from this. But James.
Mkwai.
Yeah.
Chance ine twakwata Mkwai twebe kwa abantu n'abanenso abali mu mishi ukutira bane imeni chipipya insta ine pantu abengi balefupulo kutira nakale tulachitefi nombata batupera nombe chile moneko kwa tichaelenga takwali abale bangirire fya kuchita nomba ino insta ba wa development committee amare zones enso yabo kulangirira abantu fya kuchita apo shishi puma forms. Please, kabiye kuri ino mulumendo ulipo nangu mukashana akulanga fya kuchita inga afilwa nangu ali bize nangu nakwate ntchito imbi na echo tuberere ba chairman kwafuirisha abantu twapapata bonse mwebanenso mwebali kumisha ukuchira muno mwini umo tuli mutawe mwebali mu mishina mu bomvye nawo bena abanenso aba muri nabo mupepi ichichira chakuleta obuyantanji kai chakushafwe bana nabapina bamwe abakuti abalefiro kuya ku maskulu inosha nabakwata chance. So leta newspaper review tumyafweko tubombere pointo yeso chimwa tusalire kumyafwa takwabo kulipira utatulipirisha iyo tule bombero obuteko kuisabe mwaleta twamirange efya kuchita apalubene twabomba nenu twatwale fintu fyayalondoka ichalo chezo cha pantanji especially Ichinga ward. Thank you.
Thank you so much. At this point, let me do a bit of marketing to you viewers. If you are able to, please do send us stars. This is how we run this program on TV Bakwetum. If you are able to, please do send us stars. You can look at the bottom of the screen. There is a yellow star there. If you can click on that one, and then Facebook will instruct you on how to go about it. Great. You people, you have really fired me up. You have really fired me up. You are doing a great job, Chinsali. Keep it up. Let's just, I don't know what type of project. If you have, if the community have prepared projects that would have to do with construction, how are you preparing the community so that when you start constructing those projects, the people that will be constructing are from within your wards or within your constituents?
If you're to reach that,
okay, go ahead, and then Jonathan will come.
If you're to reach that, if you got to schools, Muria, Ganuma schools, to our head teacher, Naba PTC or Bokutira, it is school, the fire, Kupanga, bill of quantities. Bill of quantities, Pagat, Jones, Ichufai, Chamoneka, Parapach paper, then you buy a 12 paper, Lecho, Kuiva Debs, was sign up Pokutira. If you find Kokuri school, and 1 by 3 was sign up. Ngani health post, to infrastructure department through the health. Now we never 12 fishako, Ukupanga Mabiocus. Ingama fish ponds. Twakwa agriculture twalikwataba n'isumu committee twabeba bapanga ifyo community refu abafwishako pakutira fire pintiro twatwala kulya filifya yana ifilinge no kutifya bombera chabombele chalo pan state ali. So bonse ma departments not babikamo cha department tuko tuleya ngani ku police twali ba style a plan bare fire ero twakulira mu ngani health post twachitevye fini ngani school twachitevye fini ngama fish ponds nangu chichonso chimuna agriculture twakuba kuri ba agriculture abantu akwisha kancha apa ifo kuno kuchinsali twewombera fye bonse pamapene takuyushere kwawo cha department imwe involved. So tulefa nga twachite chintu chamoneka echisumo kutira kwene shubuteko nabo bomba tatulefo kubanga efintu vyakwabati twaona wala pye mpira chaka no kuboma pa state yawe icho tubimbiremo bonse elo ekitatueta kiri mu politics amwe bale umfawe ni government iretere umuntu onzo mwina Zambia mwina Chinsali wa Ichinga uwa munka kula wadi na muitwa mwiratira yo chabana awo bonse na tumita iseni tuombere pamo pakuti twale Chinsali chespantanji. Thank you.
Thank you. Great. Jonathan.
Yes, just as my colleague has pointed out, we are ensuring that these community projects, they have BOQs attached to the forms, and also the project management committees from the same community. They are there are about 10 slots. They have formed the project management committee, those that will supervise these projects. Beginning, there's a chairman, a chairperson, vice chairperson, secretary, vice secretary, and treasurer. We have told them what their roles are, that is to monitor the implementation of the project once it is funded. We have gone further to sensitize the communities, because the money power will just come from within the constituency, and preferably, if it is possible, from the wards themselves. We have told the skilled people like the bricklayers and all those to put their papers in order, and also to ensure that once maybe tenders are opened for them to bid, they should be able to compete nicely, favorably, because even if it is community, we don't want just cheap labor that is not skilled, that will do a bad job. I've told them that they should also have their, if it is a company, they have formed a company, let them have their companies registered. We're preparing them so that during the tender process, they qualify, because the tender committee at the local authority, they will have to scrutinize which people should be given what type of tender, because we don't want works which may not stand the test of time, or maybe that will make us look as if we never did a good job. So we have told our people, we have sensitized the various groups to prepare the documents so that they also compete in the tender process. So because we know that this will give them an opportunity to work. Unlike as it was, just as government has guided that they will not bring anybody from Lusaka. We have these people that are doing these works within Chinsali and within some certain wards. These will be given a priority depending on how they qualify, on how skilled they are to do specific jobs. So we see this one also as a job opportunity, which is spilling over to the entire community, because we have maybe people who may not be qualified bricklayers or carpenters. They also employ helpers. You understand? It's
Have we lost you? Yeah, it seems I've lost James. Jonathan. You know, he was, he said something.
Also come from within.
Okay. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, I think he has a bit of a challenge there. It's good to know that we are talking about the quality is back. You are back, Jonathan?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello?
Okay, we can hear you.
Yeah, because what we want to do is, we don't want the types of works that maybe we could have seen in the past, where maybe just upon completion of the project, maybe it is a school, you see a big crack. The mixtures of cement is poor quality. We are going with the quality. It's not about the quantity, but also quality. So we have these people that are doing this, who are skilled. You can, maybe it's a long time that you left Chinsali. You may think Chinsali is what it used to be. Chinsali has changed. The various projects that have taken place here, that were the Chinese were doing, they gave our people a job on training. So we have these people that can do better works.
That's very good. That's very good to hear. So have I lost you as well? We have lost James. I'm not sure whether, Jonathan, you are still with us here. Well, viewers, you have heard what is happening in Chinsali. You know, it's really exciting to know that a rural constituency a rural town, a rural district like Chinsali, people are excited with the Constituent Development Fund, and they are participating in coming up with projects, and they are ready to run with those projects. It's also encouraging to know that, the council in Chinsali has already made announcements for all the 3 sectors of the Constituent Development Fund. The secondary school education bursaries, skills development bursaries, and also for community development projects. It's really good to know that they are already so far ahead with their plans, and they are just waiting to receive funding so that they can run with their projects. We have James back. I think Jonathan may still be trying to get back. So yeah, when you were away, I was just saying that it's encouraging to know that you are so advanced in terms of preparing for the projects that you want to do in your. Okay, were you saying something? Go ahead, please, if you want to say something, James. Can you hear me? Yeah, so you have heard for some of you that
Hello?
that are coming, that are constituencies
Community
where
in my ward to speed up so that they can bring more. Hello?
yes,
Yes. Hello?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Hello? Can you hear
Go
me?
ahead. I can hear you. You can go ahead. I can hear you. You can go ahead with what you want to say. Okay, you are both back. Oh, James is gone again. Jonathan, were you saying something?
Sorry, there's been network interruption.
I can imagine.
So I don't know what because I went off a little bit.
Yeah, in fact, both of you went off, so I was simply saying it's encouraging to see what you're already doing in Chinsali, because I know that there are many wards and where people are still struggling. In fact, in some of the places, like some wards in Lusaka, they haven't even done the orientation at this point. And yet for yourselves there, you are talking about, waiting for the funding, and you have already projects in place. There are very few wards that are where you are. So I must commend you for your leadership and the work that you are doing. And we commend also the Chinsali District Council for moving very, very quickly in as far as preparations for the submission of projects and just waiting for funding.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that encouragement. We thought we were thinking that Lusaka is way ahead of us, but being in the rural, we are eager for development, and maybe what is pushing us to ensure that we don't let down our communities and to ensure that we maximize on this opportunity.
Exactly.
It's a very big opportunity for the communities also to be part and parcel of what is happening around. Because in the past, under centralization, everything was about Lusaka. It's like Zambia was Lusaka. Now, this time that the approach is getting down to the grassroots, and then a common person, a common man in the village there in Chinsali, where you have been, should have a say and be empowered. We don't want to actually lose this opportunity. Maybe that's what is our motivation, because we don't want to let the people down. We want to ensure that even these rural areas, the neglected places, they actually have a part of the national cake. That is the development. So that now there should be people now coming from Lusaka, settling here in Chinsali, because what used to happen in Lusaka is also happening here in the rural areas. We just want to, again, I just want also to appreciate this initiative the government has taken, and much more for actually moving very fast towards decentralization. With us, we want to be ahead. And that's why we have given ourselves that first we start submitting, even as others are slowly coming to understand what is happening, we also accommodate them. But you know, the early bird catches the worm. So we want to be the early birds here in Chinsali. And I was just telling you to say, maybe you might have been here. Chinsali is now a different place. Maybe in your mind, there's still Chinsali, nobody can construct a house and what have you.
It must be, yeah, it must be different. It must be different, you know. It's a long time when I was in Chinsali. I was a young man then, straight from straight from the university. My first workplace was Kenneth Kaunda, so that was in 1981. You know, they had by the time I left, they had started constructing the police station by the main road there, but the buildings were not completed at that point. You know, I haven't been back actually. I think, you know, I hope that one of these days I'll be able to come back to Chinsali and see how it has changed.
You can imagine this time you come here, we have one of the best police stations in the country. Wow. We have one of the best civic centers in the country. You can't compare that civic center. We have got one of the best provincial administration offices here. 5, 6-story buildings are here in Chinsali. We have one of the best hospitals here in Chinsali. Now you can imagine who did this job. The locals here in Chinsali, they were engaged. So you can imagine even the infrastructures that will be happening here at ward level and what have you. We have got local expertise that will do this job. So we are ready. That's why you see the desperation, because we are so much eager to see things happening on the grassroots, especially this decentralization that has come. Our people are excited, but you know, there might be still one or few people with the let's wait and see attitude. They are going to see, because Chinsali will never be the same. This CGF, I'm telling you, is a boost. It's a boost, and anybody listening to this conversation here should understand that this is what people have longed for quite a long time, to have a say in the development of their local areas, to also be empowered, to be given seed. You know, our people were sensitizing them that they should move away from just consuming without producing something. Now here, nobody will say the government has left us out, because opportunities has been created to them. To form clubs, groups, they can rear chicken, they can keep pigs, they can do farming, whatever they want. So this is a rare opportunity, because, you know, maybe from the time past, our people were used to handouts and looking for jobs. Therefore, you know, the members, they are my cousins. I'm just from being powdered, but they'll have their chance. They are my tribal cousins, you know. They did a bad job on me. But I've come here as an Easterner, you know, I'm a pretty amongst my cousins. to try to ensure that we bring development to the people as close to the people as possible. And the government has armed us. This is ammunition. This is ammunition. This is empowerment, as they call it, empowerment, so that nobody will cry foul at the end to say, I was left out. I'm still encouraging those that are still behind, because come next year, we'll be at a different level. I'm telling you, the way I'm seeing things.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, we only have about 5 minutes remaining. Usually, towards the end, we have other people joining us, the ones that want to ask questions or who want to make some contributions. I'm not sure if there is anybody in the background waiting. Please allow them to come through, maybe to make a contribution or to ask these two guests of ours some questions. Yeah, it seems we don't have anybody waiting in the background. Well, we can as well just wrap up this program. It has been really exciting speaking to you two gentlemen from Chinsali. You are doing a wonderful job. Please continue with what you are doing, and I'm sure there are other people who have been listening to this program who may be far behind where you are. As I said, you are doing extremely well. You are among the few that are so well prepared and simply waiting for the funds to be released. Well done again. And I'll just give you maybe a minute or two each, if you've got any final comments to. And please do remain behind when the program ends. Don't go immediately. We will chat a bit more. But now, as we go towards the end of the program, please, 1 or 2 minutes for anything that you want to say.
Tuletotera ffe ku buteeko ekyo obuteeko bukitire nomba nakiwama pano tukale ku Lusaka ekwali Zambia nomba enosa Zambia nayesa nakumushe so ifo tulekoseresha aba n'ensubonzi abakwete FPP afya bu contractor abafyashi besu bana mayo baipose popali chintu pakutya ichalo chesu chepantanshi tulefa Chinsali Ichinga nkakula na mawadi monse tukwate chimo chine tubombere pamo pakutirati tumone okufikirisha ifyo buteeko butupeganishe kanshi nde
James has frozen. Jonathan, you can go ahead.
Yeah, to begin with, I must say thank you also for having accorded us an opportunity to interact with you people there. And I don't know where you are based, but we are very grateful that you have connected us.
Please, pega my papers.
Okay, let me continue. I was saying, yeah, we are very grateful for this opportunity, especially from Mobakwetu TV, for featuring us. And we also want to say we have availed ourselves to provide leadership by connecting to the people on the grassroots and to ensure that the government program of empowering communities succeeds. So we are still more encouraging our friends that are still delaying here and there, that were still available. The little time that is remaining will process these forms for them to ensure that we also take part and have a bite to the national cake, because Zambia is for everyone. The government is so inclusive. The government is thinking about that poor man there in the village. The government is looking at that poor youth who is unemployed. The government is looking at that poor child who's about to drop out from school, who may be a messiah for the family. the government has come in to say, go to school. Why delay? This is a golden opportunity. So we are there to support the government program to ensure that we succeed and everyone is part of this greater Zambia. And Zambia will never be the same. I just want to encourage our government to ensure that this CDF should continue the next years that are coming, so that, you know, because in the first place there will be people doubting Thomases are everywhere. Once others see that things are happening, others will join. Come next year, I think we'll be overwhelmed. And especially if a few groups are funded, then people will, I think, start flocking. Otherwise, I want to thank you for this wonderful opportunity. You people are doing a great job also wherever you are for connecting us to the entire world. People who are in diaspora should know what is happening at home, because there are people that even don't want to come home thinking that home is something else. But I want to assure them that things are also happening here, and especially this approach is the best approach to development. And we'll continue supporting it down here on the grassroots. Thank you so much, Mapanza Nkwilimba. God bless you.
Thank you so much. God bless you too. There you are, viewers. We had these two wonderful gentlemen from Chinsali who are doing a great job there, providing leadership to the community. For now, we end here, but please remember that we have this program every Saturday, anytime from 20 hours to 21 hours. So we look forward to meeting you again next week when we have a new set of guests. For now, good night and God bless.